We're here today for a PACE signing, which is a Partnership for Youth Success signing between Nevada County and the United States Army. And PACE is a program where the Army and local government, federal or private organizations, employers, pretty much guarantee interviews to those who have been through Army training, because that employer understands that they are getting a quality individual who is very dedicated, a leader, and is well trained. Employer, very highly sought after, and we basically marry them up, guarantee them an interview with the companies that we work for or that we work with. I went in, I checked out Nevada County yesterday, and there was a number of positions that I did notice. Of course, there was a nurse practitioner, there was a financial consultant, we had bus drivers in there as well, and of course the Army does have buses, so we have a number of people who we do train to operate buses, operate trucks and all that. There's just a multitude of a multitude of jobs within Nevada County that does marry up very well with the very specific positions we have within the Army. And the Army has 150 jobs in itself within the Army, and most of those do have a direct match to the civilian sector. And when it comes to the veterans and Veterans Day, which is upcoming in 4 days, the biggest thing, of course, is that right now only 1% of the population chooses to serve. It's a very small portion of the population. So those who do serve, I have the utmost respect for them. It is, like I said, is a service to country is a job that I do believe that everyone should look to do. It should be a great option. And with, like I said, this year was the 75th anniversary of D-Day. Next year is the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II. So with the Veterans Day coming up, I'd just like to recognize all the soldiers, the Marines, the sailors, the airmen, who have served their country, and just what a significant duty that is, what they have done for their country. I just have the greatest respect, and I always like to remember them. So this Veterans Day is very special. I mean, we are right now at the 75th anniversary of D-Day was this year. Next year is the 75th anniversary of World War II. And looking at this, I mean, 4.8 million Americans served during World War II. Of that, only 500,000 are left. So each Veterans Day after this, I just like to remember the veterans from all wars, but also those who served during World War II, because they, of course, hold a very special place in my heart. With that, I mean, it's only 1% of the population currently chooses to serve, and it is a very special population of soldiers, airmen, sailors, and Marines that do choose to serve their country. I said, I've been serving for 25 years. It's been an absolutely fantastic profession, and I always encourage those who want to serve their country. This is a great option of occupations that they could choose.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the posting of the colors and the singing of the national anthem. The colors will be posted by the Combined Honor Guard for the Sacramento Valley Army Recruiting Company Honor Guard and Nevada County Honor Guard. The national anthem will be sung by Nancy Haffey and Kimberly Wellman, Human Resources Department, Nevada County. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending the U.S. Army Partnership for Youth Success PACE ceremony. The U.S. Army Partnership for Youth Success program is a strategic partnership between the U.S. Army and a cross-section of private industry, academia, and businesses to include federal, state, and local agencies. The U.S. Army PACE program guarantees soldiers 5 job interviews and ROTC cadets 2 job interviews and possible employment after the U.S. Army. Today's partnership memorandum of agreement between the U.S. Army and Nevada County will be signed by Lieutenant Colonel Michael C. Furman, Battalion Commander, Northern California Recruiting Battalion, and Allison Lehman, County Executive Officer, Nevada County. At this time, we'll have Lieutenant Colonel Furman and Allison Lehman take a seat at the table. Now I'd like to introduce you to the Northern California Army Recruiting Battalion Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Michael C. Furman. Lieutenant Colonel Michael Furman entered the United States Army in 1994, enlisting after graduating from the University of Colorado at Boulder. He was commissioned a second lieutenant of the United States Army Officer Candidate School, or OCS, in 1998, branched into the Chemical Corps. His first duty assignment as a commissioned officer was at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, where he was a chemical officer for first time 327th Infantry Regiment, followed by serving as a platoon leader for the 63rd Chemical Company. Lieutenant Colonel Furman then transitioned to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where he served as a chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear training officer for the United States Army Special Operations Command, prior to commanding the Headquarters Support Company, HSC, 3rd Psychological Operations Battalion. Following that assignment, Lieutenant Colonel Furman commanded the Eugene Army Recruiting Company in Eugene, Oregon, before transitioning to Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington, to serve with 1st Corps. Lieutenant Colonel Furman deployed twice with 1st Corps in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom, and is a current operations planner in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Following these deployments, he served as a company commander of HSC 7th Infantry Division before transitioning back to 1st Corps, where he served as the executive officer for Headquarters and Headquarters Battalion. Lieutenant Colonel Furman holds a bachelor's degree in science in civil engineering, a master's science degree in geological engineering, and a master of arts degree in higher education administration. His significant awards and decorations include the Defense Meritorious Service Medal with Oak Leaf Cluster, Meritorious Service Medal with 4 Oak Leaf Clusters, Army Commendation Medal with Oak Leaf Cluster, Army Achievement Medal with Oak Leaf Cluster, and Senior Parachutist and Air Assault badges. He is married to the former Katrina Bailey of Littleton, Colorado. They have 2 children, Cassandra and Matthew.
All right, God bless Jimmy.
First, we'll be interviewing dedicated prospects who receive the training certifications needed to be effective employees from day one. Well, the Army's greatest strength is the sheer volume of opportunities that we have, numbering in excess of 150. With that in mind, take out and look at the current job opportunities for Nevada County. Few of those included information systems analyst, right there in line with our 25 Bravo information technology specialist. A clinical practitioner, again, right there in line with our 68 Whiskey copy specialist or 68 Delta physician's assistant. A chief finance administrative officer, sounds like a 38 or 36 alpha to me, a financial manager. It's just a sample of the jobs I noticed that have a direct correlation with those in the Army. There are a great many others. Also, there's a small permanent population that qualifies and chooses to serve. Through the PACE program, employers have access to this pool of highly skilled, disciplined, and motivated candidates who are exceptional team players, from which they may fill the personal hiring needs. This is a win-win for both the Army and Nevada County. Essentially, we take our soldiers, send them to basic training center to AIT, get them the skills that you know that will benefit Nevada County, and then they get the heritage opportunities after the fact. It is such a great community, such a great program. Like I said, this is why I continually look forward to this base signing and I'm a big advocate of this program. So in closing, the term for recruit providers is called crash. And basically, this is something that one of my trainers pointed out to me shortly after I took command in Northern California for a time. We are the Rhinos. We immediately changed my call sign from Rhino 6 to Crash 6 because I love the fact that every Rhinos is called Crash. I think it's fantastic. With this partnership, Nevada County becomes not just a partner with the U.S. Army, but becomes a part of the NorCal Crash as well. With that, let me introduce my co-signer of today's event, Ms. Allison Lehman. Sorry about that. I'm supposed to read the bio. I do apologize for that. It does say right here, Lieutenant Colonel Furman introduces and read Allison Lehman's bio. I do apologize for that. All right, so Allison Lehman currently serves as the County Executive Officer for Nevada County. Allison has been with Nevada County since 2001 and has held several leadership positions, including Assistant County Executive Officer, Director of Social Services, Interim Human Resources Director, Interim Public Health Director, as well as Program Manager for the Health and Human Services Agency, Truckee Satellite Office. Prior to joining Nevada County, she was the Executive Director of the Children's Nonprofit in Yolo County. With a Bachelor of Arts degree in Political Science from the University of California, Berkeley, and Master of Public Administration from California State University, Northridge, Allison has more than 18 years of experience in government and community nonprofit settings. And see that works by Allison Lehman. I got it this time. We're good to go. All right, Allison, it's all yours.
Again, I'd like to thank the supervisors for being here, in addition to Supervisor Hook, as well as our Sheriff Moon and our Assessor Sue Hook. So thank you so much, and all of you for being here today. We're excited to be here today, just a few days before Veterans Day, to formalize Nevada County's participation in the Army PACE program with Colonel Furman. Nevada County's mission is to provide outstanding public service to our community through sound and innovative public policy, strong leadership, and excellent services. This mission extends to our veterans. They deserve our thanks and our support, and we're grateful for the opportunity to support them through the Army's PACE program. Nevada County will be only one of 2 California counties who are strengthening the ties between local government and the United States Army to employ our veterans. Our jobs will now be included in database that matches those exiting the Army to career opportunities at Nevada County. There are over 5,000 individuals who apply each year for county jobs. We seek the best, the most qualified applicants to serve our residents with the high-quality government services. As one of our area's largest employers, we want to represent our communities we serve. There are over 8,000 veterans who live in Nevada County, which represents nearly 10% of our county population. The Army's pay program will provide us candidates with the highest professional standards, with the leadership skills and the technical expertise required to assist us in supporting our community's needs. Additionally, our veterans have already shown their incredible dedication to public service and have experience working as a team. Lastly, before signing this agreement with the Army's PAYS program, I would like to thank all those who have served for our country and to the Army for bringing us into this partnership. It is a privilege to be invited to participate in this program, and we look forward to participating in the PAYS program to employ veterans for our county jobs. So it's now my privilege to introduce you to one of the hardest working individuals in our organization who comes to work every day with a mindset on how to best support our local veterans. So please welcome Nevada County's Veteran Services Officer, David West.
Thank you very much for that, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. When I was transitioning out of the United States Marine Corps into civilian life, it was a scary experience for me. I was rather successful in my Marine Corps career and had accomplished many things. I was named Marine of the Year for the entire Pacific Fleet and had been meritoriously promoted 3 times in the rank of sergeant. As a sergeant, I was a leader of Marines and entrusted to lead grown men into combat. Yet when I was leaving Camp Pendleton, I was scared and unprepared to re-enter the civilian life. I did not know how to operate in an office setting or communicate with others in a professional manner. That is why today, as the Nevada County Veteran Service Officer, I could not be more proud of the efforts by our leadership to assist soldiers as they themselves transition into civilian life. This program will help our soldiers learn the soft skills that are required to be successful in civilian life. What this program will do is twofold for this county. First, the county will be providing itself with an opportunity to employ some of the best individuals that our country has to offer. Second, it will allow opportunities for service members to make a smooth transition into civilian life with a clear path to achieve success. These service members can then inform their friends of the opportunities that Nevada County has to offer. The Army PAYS program is a perfect example of the great things that can happen when 2 entities collaborate with one another. Nevada County will provide opportunities for Army veterans to work in any career field that they choose. I personally cannot think of a better weekend than Veterans Weekend to announce to the public the partnership of this great program. Thank you.
Now we're going to sign the memorandum of agreements that solidifies our partnership with Nevada County. Lieutenant Colonel Furman will also present a certificate of participation and plaque to Nevada County on behalf of the U.S. Army PAYS program. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel Furman will now provide closing remarks.
Again, like I said, this is one of my favorite parts of the job, going ahead and making sure that we are here to recognize these PACE partnerships. I think are, again, they're a win-win situation for both the county and the Army. I thank you so much for attending this event. As I said, this was for hosting us on this, for planning this, making this happen. And I hope thank the entire team, both from Nevada County and from the Army as well, for the, like I said, the professionalism and the dedication and the effort that was put into this. I believe now we have a cake cutting ceremony to complete this. Okay. All right.
So as appreciation for the Army's efforts, I would like to introduce Supervisor Miller, who will come and present a challenge coin on behalf of the County of Nevada.
The challenge coin is something that was introduced to Nevada County by HR Director Steve Rose. And what the challenge coin does, it's a tradition in the military. And what the challenge coin signifies is a special relationship, a special bond between organizations. This is the very first challenge coin that the County of Nevada will present. And I am pleased that the challenge coin will be presented to the United States Army, to Colonel Furman on behalf of the Army and the PACE program. So, Colonel Furman.
Fantastic. Let me know, I will never be out-challenged. For this one, we do have the Mighty Battalion Flash Point. This one as well. It says very short, our target, you see on the back of the United States Army.
For all the military, the veterans in the room, this is for you too. And as an Army veteran, I certainly appreciate this program and the partnership between the County of Nevada and the United States Army. Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. Now, one of the other traditions is that the cake cutting ceremony is only can be done by the youngest and the oldest members attending. So we're going to go right now. We're just going to stick to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's ceremony. We do have refreshments off to the side. Thank you.
The reason we're here is to establish a partnership, a relationship with the United States Army and their PACE program, which enables individuals coming out of the military to perhaps look and find employment with the county. And I think this is a great opportunity because, you know, a lot of people out of the military, you've had experiences, you've had responsibilities, but in civilian life, it's entirely different. This gives them a leg up on finding employment in good paying job in an area where they want to live. As a veteran, you know, I understand what it's like to serve. I understand what the military expects. You gain a certain level of confidence. You understand the responsibility. You know, I can say that I actually went and served and no one served for me. So on Veterans Day, I proudly stand up and say, yeah, I devoted 2 years of my life for my country. It certainly established a lot more patriotism in my heart, and I think it needs to be recognized. Veterans, people need to understand that, hey, you took the same risks that other veterans took, and it's an important time of your life. It's a growing experience, and so Veterans Day pretty much identifies all of that and recognizes those individuals who serve, both men and women.
The civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army is basically the eyes and ears of the Secretary of the Army, who currently is Ryan McCarthy. We're his eyes and ears here in the local community. So I represent the Sacramento and kind of greater Northern California area, and we report to the Secretary on regional issues and on community outreach. And so, when the Secretary ever comes to our area, I'm the person who will be able to liaison with him to ensure that he has the best information about what's going on here locally in our Sacramento region. Well, the Army's PAYS program is one of the really great programs that the Army has. What it does is it ensures that we give, through a partnership between the Army and with either local businesses or local government agencies such as Nevada County, that we give veterans who are coming out of the Army the opportunity to interview for jobs, so that these career lifetime soldiers is a type of program that ensures that they have that opportunity coming out of the Army that will give them a success in the civilian world, just like they've had success in the military world. And so it's our effort to ensure that these great individuals who serve our country are taken care of even when they leave the Army and hang up their uniform. We have lots of outreach activities in the Army, in addition to my role as civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army, where I'm promoting good relationships between the Army and the various communities in our region. We also have the Northern California Recruiting Battalion's Community Relations Board, and I'm the president of that board. And we have on our board wide diversity of people representing various communities: the business community, the local government agencies, education, and in fact we have partners in our PAYS program who are actually members of our Community Relations Board. We have someone who represents VSP, the large company that is based here in the Sacramento area, who is a member of our Community Relations Board and has been very active with us and promoting the Army within her company and within the business community. We also have had cooperation from the Sacramento Kings and others in the area, and so it's a very strong program, both with PAYS and with our Army Community Relations Board, ensuring that the people within our region, even though there's no Army base here locally, that they feel connected with America's Army. I think that what people need to know is that the Army is America's Army. It represents everyone. We have people from all walks of life who are represented in our Army, and we have incredible numbers of careers available to people who, when they come into the Army. People have a view that the Army only offers a limited number of types of careers, but that's not true. We have 150 different careers that people can pursue when they're in the Army, many of which have nothing to do with any kind of combat. And so if you're in fields ranging from, I had my nephew who was an intelligence analyst, and but we just had a conference in the state capitol in Sacramento where we highlighted Army STEM careers: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And so there are lots of those types of careers available to people here in the Army, and so people need to consider all the range of their career opportunities, in the both civilian and military world. And I think that when you compare them, the Army, really stacks up extremely well. Veterans Day, obviously is our way to honor those individuals who have put on the uniform who have served our country and all through the years, not just the current crop of people here today, but all those throughout our nation's more than 200 years of existence. My father, for example, was a member of the United States Coast Guard during the Korean War and served on a Coast Guard cutter. I'm going to be giving a speech tomorrow at John Adams Academy in Roseville on the significance of Veterans Day. But I think that one of the things that we need to ensure on Veterans Day, especially for the civilian population who have not a lot of contact with the military and with veterans, that they understand the type of sacrifices that these individuals have made voluntarily in order to ensure that the freedoms and liberty and way of life that they take for granted are protected, and that there are a lot of people out there who are doing this in all branches of the military, and we're very proud of what they're doing, and we hope that the civilian population understands that, and nothing better than Veterans Day to drive home that message.
I've been in the Air Force now for 22 years, joined in August of 1997, a young 18-year-old guy, not sure what I want to do with my life. I was an air traffic controller for the first 10.5 years of my career. Ended up getting a degree in aviation, and then applied for commissioning so I could fly airplanes, because that job seemed more fun to me than working in the control tower. Ended up going to flight school, flew the B-1 bomber as a weapons system officer, and then flew on a reconnaissance aircraft for a couple years also. Flew both those aircraft in combat over Afghanistan, supporting troops on the ground. So I feel a little connected with my Army brethren here. It's nice to see them, because we had not only the way the county's connecting with the Army, the military has a connection where we work together and support each other. So that was good. I guess I didn't finish my background with the Air Force, that I am here as a U-2 mission planner. So I essentially make all the flying products for the U-2 before they go fly their maps, their fuel calculations, all those things. But with my free time, the little free time I have, I'm married and I have 2 great kids, 7 and 8. I volunteer with Nevada County Sheriff's Search and Rescue Team. So not sure if you've heard, they've got a great search and rescue team here, often called for mutual aid with some of the other counties. A really just nice group of people to be part of. As I was getting ready to make this transition out of the military, I've been trying to talk about my plan, what I want to do and where I want to go. I connected with one of my search and rescue friends. He heard my plight and said, I think I can connect you with Nevada County. I know a guy. So he, I think, talked to maybe Jeff and Steve Rose, and that's where this thing started. I knew I wanted to leave. I knew I was going to work through SkillBridge, and they brought me together to intern with Nevada County. It's a Department of Defense program, so it's bigger than the Air Force. And what it does is it softens that transition for military veterans. A guy like me, been in for 22 years, I am in some ways institutionalized, and I have to leave now that warm and comfortable blanket of being in the military, where I know the language, I know what to expect, I know a lot of Air Force things, and go out in the world. And in the career path I want to be in, that involves working with state or federal or at the county level. So understanding that non-military government, it's a bit of a leap for me. So what SkillBridge does is they connect veterans with an opportunity that they're interested in. So in my case, I wanted to go in emergency management. They allow us to choose a path, and then connect with a place you want to work. So in my case, working emergency management at the county level in my county was a great fit for me. It requires some paperwork, and you have to ask for some permissions, because I'm still on active duty. So that's another benefit to the member, is that I don't have to worry about an interruption to my health care, to my pay. I can still provide for my family. I can still accrue leave. It's just really growing me as a person and helping to ease that transition out of the military. So I applied I went to, got a briefing to see what that program was all about, filled out some paperwork. The military at Beale, who was very supportive, said, yes, we're happy to let you do this, Paul. You've been a great asset. Thank you for your service, and we want to make your transition easier. So they supported it. Nevada County was great, because they were like, we would absolutely love to have more help in the Office of Emergency Services, because we've got a tough mission and we're understaffed there. So yes, and I interviewed with them and they thought I was an okay guy. So I think between the collaborative cooperation between the county and the Air Force, I was able to submit the paperwork up to Big Air Force, and they approved it. So it's a 6-month program, and I'll be here now until first week of January. I think it's actually a really neat opportunity because this is a Department of Defense program, like I mentioned, right? It's not just an Air Force program. So if somebody who's right out of high school, who's at that same crossroads that I was at, enlists with the Army, knowing that they're going to get those 5 interviews afterwards with Army pays, they can even then maybe use SkillBridge on their way out of the Army to intern someplace and then get that interview to get that job. So what we're doing is we're creating an entire life cycle for a veteran to go from, civilian life to serving your country and doing a great job to then gently easing them back out into the civilian world, which is great for them, and it's also great for not only our country while they were serving, but then great for wherever they land, whether that be private industry or the county as they enter the community here. It's been really great. There's been a lot of differences. I mentioned earlier that a little bit of apprehension as I leave the Air Force. What am I going to do? What's it going to be like? I was able to make a lot more mistakes as an intern than I might have made as an employee as I learned, right? The learning curve was steep for me. I had to learn about county operations. I had to learn about emergency management. So working in the Office of Emergency Services with Jeff Pettit and Jen Tamo, they've been very supportive of my silly questions. And they've given me a lot of teaching opportunities, right, where they'll stop what they're doing and they'll work with me to explain a process. In fact, I would say they've even taken it above and beyond in some ways. The IGES director, Steve Monahan, and Jeff Pettit have not only said, we'll teach you some things, they've sort of prodded me a little bit and said, Paul, you need some online FEMA training. Go do that. Here's an opportunity to go get a week-long course down at Cal OES. They afforded me that opportunity, said, go down there and go do that because we know this will make you better. This will help you land on your feet when you leave the Air Force and try to go be an emergency manager. So I felt like they cared about me, like they cared about my success, and whether I get a job with Nevada County or with another county or the state, I feel like this program and Nevada County have better prepared me for that. I think Veterans Day is an important day to remember anybody who's served. I don't think of myself as a veteran. My wife and kids tell me, I'm a veteran because of the time I've spent away. And in fact, I think those are the people that we should also remember are the families of the veterans. They're oftentimes forgotten because families, wives, kids, spouses, parents, all make sacrifices, right? When somebody leaves, joins the military, and then they come back different, right? And so everybody's affected in some way. Myself, I spent almost 2 years cumulatively over in the Middle East, over 7 deployments in 22 years. And I know that's had an effect on me, it's had an effect on my family. So when you thank a veteran, also thank their family.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to share that we have a new partnership with the Army called the PAYS program. It is an employment opportunity for veterans leaving the Army and provides them opportunities to apply for county jobs at Nevada County. So we're extremely honored with this partnership, and we're proud to say that we're only one of 2 counties in California that has such a program.
That's pretty amazing. So obviously Nevada County puts our veterans first.
Nevada County, absolutely. Nevada County has always highly supported our veterans. We have over 8,000 veterans in our community, and so this is just one small way that we could show support for veterans leaving the military as well as veterans who are living in our community. We thank our veterans for their service. The Nevada County's Human Resource Department has 2 key programs that support our local veterans. One is the PAYS program, and the second one is the SkillBridge program, which provides opportunities for those leaving the military to connect their services with a local jurisdiction. And we just initiated this program this year, and we've already seen great success and the value that veterans have provided to the County of Nevada.